Thank you, Heavenly Dad. So you see now the recluse, the sadhu, the contemplative monk, his ideal is an apparent isolation from the world. He withdraws from the world that he might be filled with the company of God. My goodness, how could one want anything else? It's absurd, isn't it? How can we be in this world where we are subject to anything that seems other than the goodness and influence of God's company? His wonderful personhood, friendship. Instead, we take up the company of children in the playground when we could be with mum or dad in such security and such loving directive unfoldment of life. But we want to go out there and play with our friends, who are murderous, of course, because they're as untrained as we are. You know, they're still children. It's very creative and we gain great experience. It's horrific, some of it too. And we should, in a sense, so recoil from it and delight to come home to mum and dad at the weekend, where we just do family things, and it's much safer and much more satisfying. You know, we get tea and lunch and nice things happen, and we play in the garden, but sometimes we play with mum and dad. We play in the house with mum and dad and brothers and sisters, but it's in a far more policed environment, so much more protected. I mean, the mums are greatly stressed when their kids first go to school, and rightly so too. This kid's going into an environment that's not policed properly at all. Oh, it presents as such with the playgroup, you know, even the Rudolf Steiner one. I mean, it presents extremely well. But it's not really as good as being with mum, for goodness sake, because she gives exclusive attention to her children, and they are few. Hopefully not 17 children, where, you know, really most of the work's been done by the older kids. That's better than nothing, don't get me wrong. But, you know, the more mature and wise and, well, the more mature a person is, the better the parent they can be. Wow, I've gone on too long, haven't I? It's 17 minutes. Let me stop, dear one. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Yes, towards the end here, not quite, but a bit earlier, I'm thinking then that this regenerative life is also what seems a very detached, equanimous life. You know, pleasure or pain, it makes no difference to him. Praise or calumny, heat or cold, he seems to be impervious to the world. He's living, I don't know where he is really, he's just away. He's a mystic. You could say he's cut off from the world, and yes, but he's not meant to be in that. Well, I'm not sure. Are we sent into the world to change it? I don't think so. My view is, isn't it, that it's a lesson, it's a learning. The world's a school. I don't actually go to school to influence the staff and change the school. I go to learn, and to gain something that's going to help me in life. I mean, ideally, might be I go to receive indoctrination that I become a good submissive citizen in the state, but that's, if you like, the will of the world instead of what we're made for, which is the will of God. We come into the world, yes, to see good and evil, yes, and we learn accordingly, yes. But we don't learn, ideally, to be submissive to the emperor, but to God. You know, I'm thinking of the Quaker in court a few hundred years ago, and he doesn't take his hat off for the judge, because he respects no man in that sense but God. And of course the court judge doesn't like this, and basically tells him off and whatnot. I mean, things turn out a bit rough, which is what we see with Jesus too. Things turn out a bit rough, and he gets crucified. If he's going to continually press the world, which he does, and quite deliberately, I feel, in the story. He winds them up, you scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, you whited sepulchres. He's a sort of worse version than John the Baptist, isn't he? And he gets crucified, and of course, John the Baptist lost his head too. And it's because of that, isn't it? You speak the words of God and the world doesn't like it, well, the world kicks back. You must expect that. Is that what you've come to do? I don't think so, no. I know the Jesus story does. But I don't think so. I haven't sent you into the world to be crucified by it. Why is God sending us into the world? That we look at it and say, my goodness, I now know the difference between good and evil indeed. And I want the good with all my being. My soul longs for you, Heavenly Dad. Oh my goodness, I'm now on 21. I meant to stop at 17, didn't I? Thank you, Heavenly Dad.